So I want to just put together a quick prepping video for you, and then I'm going to do an actual cybersecurity video and the things that you need to be thinking about as far as your household and things that you need to be buying and doing before the STIF. You, you can anyway. So let's look at this setup right here. This is the TCL 65-inch micro LED TV. Now, one of the things I plan on doing with this is that I'm going to turn this into a monitor for me being able to work on videos and whatnot. And then, of course, this is the new APC Smart UPS C1500. And then one of the things, you know, if you can picture it, see, this is on a stand right now, and you can buy these and see how it swivels. And the nice thing is that I can sit over in my lounge chair and tilt the TV over. Now, it had the legs. I don't know if you're familiar with these TVs. They come with legs, but those legs actually stretched the length of this thing. And I wanted to show you from the back some things. Here's my food supply that I'm working on. That's, like I said, it's prepping video. But here's the view from the back. Now, it was pretty easy. What I did was I put these rack mounts on. And see right here, I've got this taped on. This is the actual Allen wrench for all of these bolts, so that if I ever need to take anything apart, I've always got it. Whereas if you put it somewhere, you're not going to find it. I even screwed the screws back into the bottom of the TV. So so you can see, you're saying, well, what does this have to do with prepping? Well, of course, I'm prepping for if I ever have to move this TV, or, well, today I was feeling really, really sick. And, you know, so I'm just kind of hanging out and just making a quick video. So let's get into the next topic. So, you know, well, here, let's just check this out. So this is the new stand. You know, when I make videos from the chair, one of the things that I was running into was this top piece would pop off the old stand, and I've had these before, and I couldn't give you the name brand on this, but they've actually improved it. This is a new top. I really like it. I'm using a different stand to hold the phone right now. So, but this is the old stand. Look at this piece of garbage. Now you see this little top piece, it just pops right off. And then of course this broke right here, so I actually used toothpicks and tape so that I could use it. But I mean, look at the frustration. How many hours of frustration did I have with that? I mean, what the hell? For 20 bucks, I got a whole new stand, and this thing goes up a hell of a lot higher, and it's a hell of a lot better. So I'm just telling you, you got to look around your house and see what's causing you frustration. So here's another example, because I am crippled now. This is the old hose thing. Now you can see I can't even adjust this thing because my hands are too weak. Okay, and then of course it's already broke. So this right here, when you twist it, it doesn't even click into place because it used to have multiple settings. This one here is much the same. You can see they're garbage. Now I'll get 50 cents for these at the metal recycling place. So this is the new one, and actually, look at this. See, as a crippled person, I can just grab the top of this thing and shut it on and shut it off, and then of course the cone right here, and it's nice and big and very well constructed. I wish is there a name brand on here? Can you believe it? I don't see anything. I just took it out of the box, but you can find this on Amazon, I'm sure, and you can do your own research. But look for the one with the handle. There's a few of them like that, but as a crippled person, these are things that I'm thinking about, and I got to do what I can. So let's just go on outside. I want to show you how I walk the walk and talk the talk. So obviously, here's the power washer set up. Hey, I got the phone Canon, so that's all set up and ready to go. There's the shoes that I'm going to use because they actually have a hole blown out in the side, and so I use those for just all sorts of any sort of terrible work around the house. And there's the Super Clean and the Clorox. I just didn't feel good today. And by the way, there's the Stay-Bil pump protector. If you got a power washer, especially an electric one like this, you know, we've talked about this in the past. And then of course you don't put soap down in the container. So let's get on outside and just walk the walk and talk the talk. So my wife when she moved out and divorced me, she left this pot, and it was sitting out here with nothing in it but weeds after 7 months of me breaking my neck and falling down the stairs. And so I moved it to here and put a plant in it, and I think it'll look good here on the porch. That's for me, man. You know, my wife was all about, you know, showing the neighbors. I don't give a shit about, well, I shouldn't say I don't give a shit about the neighbors. I don't give a shit about what they think. You know, I mean, you know, I've done some things. I planted these plants up here. That used to be rock. I'm telling you, if you can ever take rock out, I mean, look at all this rock. Oh my God, here in Florida. So I had 2 bushes right here, and I had these stairs going in between the bushes, so I got to move those over. And then you can see where this is all tore up. All this rock has to come up. Rock is a gosh dang nightmare. Don't ever put it down. So this is the wife's car. God dang it. I took it, I mean the ex-wife's car. I took it in. I got the oil changed for her. You say, well, why are you doing that? Because she let me have the dog. You know, that's kind of what they do. She says, well, I'll let you have the dog if you change the oil in my car. And by the way, that's another thing. They wanted $25, and I gave them the oil and the filter because I use nothing but synthetic. And I got to run that to Firestone tomorrow and get the tires. You know, I don't know. You can't get out of that mode when you've been a husband. Anyway, so let's just keep on going. So the next project. Okay, so here's the actual. I've been using this one here. Now that's a pretty good thing, but I mean your hands, I mean when I try to operate it, you know, it just, you got to squeeze that in and all you got, and it doesn't have all the different settings. And then I'm in the process now. This is where being handicapped and crippled, you got to think about things, right? And we talked about this bush in a previous video, so I've kind of gotten started. My yard crew is going to take that bush out, but one of the things that I know, because they're going to create a lot of work, so you see right here, this is a barrier underneath the rock, and that's what keeps the weeds from growing. And what'll happen is when they come in to take this bush out, all that rock will just go down into the dirt, because they'll just shovel right through it. I mean, they're in a hurry, you know. They just want to get paid and get out of here. So I got to move all this rock out of the way, and I want to minimize the danger to the. And plus, that's another thing. I called my Sunshine 811. If you live in Florida, mysunshine811.com, because they're going to mark the utilities. You can see that the utilities, we've got a helicopter flying in. That's one thing we don't have here is planes, but we have a lot of helicopters. You can see that I've got a lot of utilities. Here's the electrical, the gas is coming in right there. So I'm not sure what's underneath that bush. I don't know. I mean, it might be some sprinklers. I've got sprinklers in here. So, you know, I want to make sure that my yard crew, and by the way, that protects you legally. Okay, so let's say they did hit the gas line. I'd be looking at thousands of dollars to repair the gas line. But by calling that number or just going online at Sunshine 811, I'm no longer liable for that. So anyway, and here's another little thing, just a little tidbit, you know. So she left this pot. I never wanted it, and then that stupid little beaver was in the backyard where nobody could see it. I thought I'd bring it out to the front, and so I bought this little plant right here and put it down in the pot and put some Miracle Grow down in there. Who knows? I mean, you know, it's a pot. That's what women do. So anyway, let's whip on around to the back now. One of the things that, you know, like I said, this bush is coming out. Now, I'm the one responsible. I made the mistake. I went to the nursery and I told them, I said, I want something that's going to grow to be 3 feet high, and that's it. And I don't want no maintenance. Well, look at that son of a gun. 7 months of growth, it was up over the gutters. I cut it all the way back to here, and then I've been trimming it and pulling the rock away. I made a mistake. I admit it. You know, I was rur, as the Fonz used to say back on Happy Days. I was rur. I can't say the word. I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. I should have never put this bush in because it blocks my access to the hose reel right here. And that hose reel, of course, you know, I've got to power wash the driveway. That's what that power washer is all about. And I really thought I'd get to it today, but I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling good. I'm just chilling. So I thought I'd just make a quick upload video. So anyway, I didn't plant these bushes. These were here when I came. They're actually not too bad. I got to trim them during the growing season about once every couple weeks, and as long as you keep up with it, it's not that bad. The main part is blowing all the stuff out of the rock, because if you don't blow it out of the rock, you get all kinds of weeds growing in there, and then you got to pull up all the weeds. But I wanted to show you the garden in the back. So I am walking the walk and talking the talk. So this used to all be rock right here, and it took me, man, I had 2 sawhorses with a grate, and I pulled all that rock out, and because I wanted to grow vegetables, not knowing what was going to take place up in Virginia. I thought my wife would get into gardening a little bit. She never did. And so I had some stuff planted in here, and we'll get around to that. So what I've done is I bought, this is one regular tomato plant. And by the way, if you get them markers, be sure to put them right there next to the plant, because originally when I planted everything, well, we'll get to it in just a second. You know, I didn't know, sometimes you forget what the hell you planted. But especially when you're gone 7 months, but that's not going to happen now. So I put in new dirt, I put in Miracle Grow, I'm going to put a little bit of mulch down. So let's swing on around. Now we've got, these are 2 cherry tomato plants, they're generic. Like I said, I stopped at a nursery and they didn't know what the hell they were. They just said cherry tomatoes. I said, okay. So I put the racks around them. Now I had a couple of extra racks. Now, is it silly to put a rack around romaine lettuce? Yeah, I just figured it might give some protection from a rabbit trying to get in there. Probably not. And of course, I'm going to water all this. Now, this is why I get into labeling your plants. See, I've got this one. This is a sweet. These are sweet banana peppers, and so hopefully that's going to grow. This is my last hurrah to get some fresh vegetables. Now, look at, you know, I've got the whole rest of this garden, but let's get into it. What the hell is that? I planted that, I don't know, a year ago, and man, it grew and grew and grew. I've already taken out a lot of it. It took over the whole damn thing, and I think that was like a kale or something. I've looked it up at Google. You know, you can do the picture thing and try to figure out what the hell it is. And but I mean, without being able to figure out what it is, I don't even know how to cook it. I don't even know if, I mean, it could be just a weed for all I know. I think it's something that I planted, and man, it did great. But unfortunately, anyway, so the other thing that happened while I was gone was all of these, I just did this yesterday. Probably why I'm so wiped out today was I was out here redoing all of this brick. And so once again, getting into the 811, what I'm going to do, you can see I got quite the jungle growing back here, and I gotta weed all this. This is actually going to be a nice bush. I got to pull all these weeds up, and all of this, I'm going to dig this out. But right underneath here are fiber lines, because I cut one in a previous project. So I know not to. I got to be super careful. So they're going to come and mark all that. And so what I'm going to do is redo all of this border along here. Now, really what I want to do is eventually I'm going to plant some vegetables in here. But for now, and then this is probably another mistake. I bought this. It's only supposed to get 15 feet tall. That's 2 years of growth. Look at that son of a bitch. It's going to be a tree. I got sprinkler lines underneath there. See, there's a sprinkler head right there. That thing's going to bust right through those sprinkler lines. That was probably a mistake planting that. I just wanted something to conceal the fence. Now you can see my wife's leftover stuff. I hate these damn chimes. They just make money. I'm going to be throwing those away, and I've already thrown away a bunch of stuff she had back. See this stupid stuff. She put this thing in the ground with the solar light, you know, whatever. Well, that's actually metal. I can get a little bit of money for that, and you know, get rid of this piece of crap and this, whatever this thing is, you know. So yeah, the remnants of my ex-wife. Now here's something that you might want to consider doing. I put this rain barrel in, and you can see I got the hose coming along here. Now what I do is, that's 50 gallons of water, so I used it yesterday to water all the plants. Now this one obviously needs some water, so I'm going to go get a bucket of water, because I just planted that. That's new, and so obviously it needs water, and I'll just keep, you know, water. You got to water it in when you first plant. Most of these are pretty established now, so other than the one that doesn't look too good right there. But anyway, so I bought this 50-gallon rain barrel for water control. And so the advantage is that I can use that water especially during the dry season. Now during the rainy season, it don't matter. I mean, you know, this whole area just floods back here. But during the dry season, you know, when you get a storm, because even here in Florida during the dry season, you get a storm about once a week, that rain barrel fills right up, and then I can use that water to water in everything. And you just take the hose and gravity, you can see gravity right here, I can use it to water in the plants. Now, am I going to get time before winter gets here to plant anything along here? I don't think so. And you can see this doesn't get much light, so it's good. This all takes a lot of work, man, because you got to do your research. You know, what's going to grow in the shade, right? Obviously this did, whatever it was. You know, and so that's why, you know, and I know these are romaine lettuce, and that's a banana pepper, and I know those are cherry tomatoes, and so I've got very little growing, but I'm walking the walk and talking the talk. Now, this was a hell of a lot of work, man. I mean, taking all that rock out, I mean, we're talking months worth of work to get all of this. And even now, I mean, I had to buy, I bought the cow manure dirt that you can get at Home Depot. It's only still less than $3 a bag. Now, you ain't gonna be able to get it for that for long. And you can see this was the last bag I emptied right here. I'm gonna be spreading that out now. I might buy a couple more plants, and then I've got my seed germinators in the house. Of course, I got to power wash the bird cage, and there's a thermometer I bought. See, there you go. I made another mistake. That thing broke on me. Now, the question that I have is, should I get a second barrel? Now, I'm not sure how I would make that work, because this one comes down into this one. I guess you could tie the two barrels together, then I'd have 100 gallons of water. That's something that I'm considering doing as far as my prepping exercises go. Of course, this used to be just a little bitty, little bitty thing. Look at the size of that. You know, I'm surprised it's not pushing the fence down. But they're having a hard time getting the lawnmower past there, so I gotta trim that back. You know, it's only so much that I can do as a cripple. And then of course you know, part of my prepping, I replaced all these outdoor outlets long ago. It fixed all the sprinklers along here. Of course, there's actually sprinklers behind all this stuff. God knows if I can find them, you know. There's snakes and spiders and everything else in there. So anyway, that's it for the prepping video. I just kind of wanted to show you how I'm walking the walk and talking the talk. You know, like I said, get a garden, get a garden, get a garden, get a garden. Okay, I got my garden. You got yours. And just this little bit of space, I can grow a lot of food. If these come up, I'm going to have a lot of lettuce. I guarantee you, just 3 tomato plants, I'm going to have more tomatoes than I can probably eat. And that would feed me probably for a couple, 3 weeks to a month on the tomatoes that are growing. Look at the tomato plant. When I planted that, it was 6 inches. That was probably about 5 days ago. Look at it. It's already grown 6 inches. So, and the lettuce is coming in. These were little bitty things when I planted them. So anyway, get a garden, do what you got to do, get out there. I mean, even when you feel bad, just make it so. That's it for the prep video. Have a good one. Oh, and good to live in the free state of Florida. Peace out.